just have 3.5 minutes, so I'm going to focus in on a number of points, Minister, if you don't mind. The fact that the numbers on public transport have substantially and significantly increased because of the reduced fares proves exactly what some of us on this side of the House have been saying for a very long time. In fact, we've asked for free public transport. I repeat that. I repeat it with colleagues that have already said it over there. I'd love to know what we're paying in fines, Minister, if you had that to hand. And we're committed in terms of breaching our obligations under European legislation. What are the fines we're paying on a regular basis? In order to meet our commitments for 2030 and 2050, we clearly need to take radical action. And just before I go into Galway City, I'd like to just sound a note of caution in relation to electric cars and where we're actually sourcing the cobalt and the lithium. And it's something that hasn't been mentioned at all in the Dáil, and I really would like a response from the government in relation to the human rights abuses in Congo, the use of very young children and the very exploitative working conditions in relation to the extraction of cobalt in particular. I would love an analysis done in relation to that. In relation to Galway, the Minister visited just 2 weeks ago and he confirmed that there was funding available for a feasibility light rail, a feasibility study. That has never been carried out, Minister. It is one of the most basic requirements in Galway City, which is destined to increase its population by 50%. 24,000 people signed a petition more than 4 years ago, calling on the government just to carry out a feasibility study. As usual, the people are way ahead of us and they will move to public transport. They don't need enticement. What they do need are options, and we don't have options. So we haven't done what the people of Galway asked us. We haven't provided park and ride, which is a source of great upset to me because I was mayor at the time and we led, and the councillors led, and we put in an objective in the city development plan to roll out park and ride in 2005. And here we are in 2022, the National Transport Authority has taken over, and you know their latest response? They're looking at possibly on the east side of the city, and the west side is being absolutely ignored completely. You talk about school transport. There's huge potential if we revisit the school transport with buses that could be multifunctional that are not being used. We look at some changes in the rail system from Athenry and Ardmore. They're very welcome, but they're very late and they're ad hoc. There is no sense of urgency here whatsoever in relation to the climate change, climate emergency and the biodiversity emergency. We need transformational change. We don't need to talk about encouraging people. They are crying out to do it differently, and we need to do it differently. So I'm appealing once again on the public record for the most basic thing, a feasibility study for light rail for Galway. Look at the school transport, look at park and ride, and ask why in God's name are we allowing the National Transport Authority to delay and delay with something as basic and fundamental as that. Thank you.